Hey guys, I wanted to do a speed paint for Monika because I've never really done a speed paint before and I thought it would be fun. And the other reason I've never done a speed paint is because I'm not really good at figuring out how to do a speed paint or drawing things in a way that makes sense. So yeah, I more or less guess proportions and how I want to draw things, so you know, it's kind of embarrassing to even put this up. I'm just like, oh, you can see what type of mess I am. Yeah, so here you're gonna see a sketch that I'm drawing. I am recording this afterwards because I wasn't sure how to record my audio. The video is gonna cut out just because I messed up and somehow stopped the recording. So I am putting in a picture so you can see what my sketches look like afterwards, because this isn't the final sketch. But that was my second sketch, and this is my third sketch. So you can see where it landed. And this is my final line art. So, of course, my final isn't that great. This is quite boring, so I'm going to talk about my sponsor for today, which is DDLC Amino. So, DDLC Amino is a great place for like-minded people to come in and talk about DDLC. So if you press the little number on the left-hand corner, you can go and see what everyone is doing. One of my favorite things to do is go into the quizzes and see what quizzes are available for me to try. So I tried the true DDLC fan one, and it asked me questions like, what color hair does the MC have? So I've seen a picture of the MC, so I was like, yes, I know it's brown. There you go, that's one. I got correct. Second question was, what is the name of the girl mentioned in Natsuki's second poem? And which I remember was Amy. I actually saw a video about that recently, and I thought that was pretty cool. Next question, which of these words is a Sayuri word? Smile, come on. It's like the happiest girl I know. Fourth, which song plays when you're writing your poem? I had to guess for this one. I wasn't actually sure. I just guessed it was Dreams of Love in Literature. Somehow I got it right, so that's quite impressive, I have to admit. Next one, who was the last to join the literature club? I know Natsuki is the youngest, so it's kind of obvious that she was the last one to join. Next question. Which girl has a husbando, male waifu? I guessed. I wasn't really sure. I'm not even sure who her male waifu is. Next one is, what does Dan Salvato talk about mostly in the letter after the true ending? And he talks about visual novels, from what I remember. And what he likes about visual novels. So yeah, I got a perfect score. So I don't think you guys can really beat that score because it is a perfect score. So if anything, so I did try a different quiz afterwards just to, you know, see if maybe I'd get a lower score and you guys can try and beat me on that one. So I tried out, I forgot which one I tried out. Oh, what did the DDLC characters say? So I still love you. I tried guessing this one, I'm just like, was this Sayori? And nope, it was Monika. Monika was the one who said that. So I lost in the first one. So yeah, you guys can try and beat my score in this one, and then show me what you got on my wall. So just go onto my profile and just type in your score in my wall. Alright, so, of course, come and see me on Amino. Well, alright, so that was like a little tangent just because this part was really boring in my video too. You can see that I'm still trying to draw the gun. So the entire time I was literally just trying to draw the gun and make it look nice. Because I don't know how to draw guns. That is not a skill that I have. Most people have some type of skill, and my skill is not that one. You can see like I'm trying to keep it straight, and then like, it's really hard to keep proportions right. I don't know how people do it. Like even here, I'm still trying to make it into like a cube of some sort. And I even have the picture on the side. Literally, the reference is right next to me and I still can't seem to draw it. I do flip the canvas several times to try and make sure it looks okay, then you can see I'm adjusting it. The interesting part is this was actually my final line art, but I still had to go back and change things because my final is not good enough. That's how often I do line art. I actually do line art like 2 times before I'm okay with it. Like, the first one's always a really rough one, the second one is like a better but messy sketch, and the third one is supposed to be the clean sketch, but you can see I still make lots of mistakes and I still have a lot to erase and redo just to get this done. So yeah, I'm currently drawing Monika with a gun, and just because I thought it was funny, you know, like, just Monika, you really can't choose anyone else, she'll shoot you. So that was my logic behind this. Maybe it's not the best logic, but this is how I figure out what I want to draw. And like you can see like the one in the back, I don't know, I actually prefer my sketch in the back over the first one, so that's why I started changing up the line art a little bit to reflect the sketch that I drew earlier. You can also see me like trying to fix the hair and trying to make things look better. Well, for me, because like certain parts it has to look a specific way for me to like it. I also don't know how to set any of like, so I'm using a Wacom tablet for this, and I don't know how to set any of the keys. So instead of like being able to set the keys automatically to do eraser or whatever else, I go to the side and I click it. So like you can actually see me click every button that I want. If I want an eraser, I click it. If I want the pen, I click it. So this is what I mean by I'm just an ineffective drawer. And it's not really a good speed paint. Like if you needed to learn how to do speed painting, I wouldn't suggest you go to me. I would suggest you go to a real speed painter who knows what they're doing and actually has shortcuts instead of me who does everything the longest way possible. You can also see like, sometimes I will draw it messy initially and then I will go back and try and fix it. So right now I am currently fixing all of the line art. But it's not necessarily just in areas, like in some areas, it's literally me fixing everything. That's how much I have to fix usually before I'm able to finish it up at all. Here too you can see like, oh hey, hard eyes. Oh gosh, yeah. You know, with the paint tool button, I only recently learned how to use the paint tool without it having those white little edges on the side. I used to literally just use paint tool, put it in, and then I'd have like white edges. So I'd have to go in and color it in. And then I realized there was this button that was, I forgot what it's called. It's literally in the paint tool thing, but you click that button and then it doesn't do that. It doesn't leave the white spots. So that took me a really long time to learn, okay? So I really don't want people making the same mistakes that I do, because the mistakes that I made are really dumb. Like, they are not good mistakes, they're not even logical mistakes, they're just really stupid mistakes. Even here you can see, like, it's literally so much adjusting. Half of this video is just me slowly and surely adjusting Monika's face so it looks better than what it currently looks like. And this is just line art, so imagine that. This is just me fixing line art. Just because I didn't like the way it originally looked. Oh my gosh. Yeah, put in the little areas. Even then, I also have spaces that, like, you can see there's spaces. You can see I'm forgetting areas. Or trying to clean up the lines. Mostly because I want to use the paint tool bucket so I can, like, color it all in quickly. But you're gonna soon see very quickly that even then, I still missed a lot of spots, so I have to go back and fix it more. It's literally, like, the entire time is just me retouching my art to make sure it's nice. And I honestly don't know how people are able to draw, like, huge pieces in, like, 3 hours. Like, they'll just, like, in the bottom, they'll be like, oh yeah, I did this in 3 to 4 hours. And I'm just like, this took me 3 days. This Monika piece literally took me 3 days because I kept taking breaks. Because, like, first I would draw, like, the sketch, and then I would do the final line art, and then I'm like, I need a break. So I just, like, you know, I'll be gone for, like, a week before I restart it again and, like, try and finish that up. So yeah, that was, like, most of my experience with this, too. Like, this is, I believe, me fixing up the line art here was day 2. So drawing the actual sketch and all of that, you know, the stuff I didn't record, was day 1, and then day 2 is just me trying to fix this. So you'll know when I'm in day 3, because day 3 is when I started coloring. So, like, first I fixed all the line art, and then later on is when I decided to actually color this piece. Yeah, girl, put that gun. And this is just, like, random. Like, there's no meme associated with this. I just felt like drawing it, because, like, why not? I don't know, I like Monika a lot. I think she's an interesting character. She's not my favorite character. She's definitely an interesting character. Like, the only reason I really like Doki Doki isn't because of, like, this, like, the initial storyline, the first portion of it, where they're, you know, in the literature club, and they're all falling in love with the main character. I find that really boring. I actually didn't like that portion of the game. I know, like, a lot of people did really enjoy that part, but for me, it wasn't that interesting. And the only reason I found it not so interesting is because I've always been the type who likes exciting or fear or things like that. Like, that part to me was like, oh, okay, I guess we're going over poetry. I'm not really a literature person, so that's why for me it's like, oh man, poetry, gosh. And I did realize, like, immediately that, like, Monika's poems are really weird. Like, I didn't really understand why they were so strange. I'm like, what's wrong with her poems? But, like, even, Yuri's poems weren't as creepy as Monika's, in my opinion, when I was reading them. I'm just like, okay, Yuri just sounds like one of those lost souls who are trying to be very deep. And Monika just sounded like a little, you know, unhinged, so I was like, okay. Like, my first impression of the characters was interesting, too. Like, for me, I found Sayori just, like, annoying. Like, right up from the bat, I was just like, okay. Like, she was just, like, the caricature of, like, the perfect childhood friend who's super happy. Yuri, I know, like, a lot of people do enjoy Yuri's character. The only reason I didn't like Yuri so much was because she was kind of just, like, that typical, oh, she's shy and also really smart. Ooh, so cute. Like, I've never really been into that type. I'm not really into, like, the shy girl. I like more of the assertive girl, but even then, like, it depends on the type of assertive girl. Like, I don't love, like, super assertive girls, but, you know, I don't like extremely shy. Because Yuri was, like, kind of weird, because she was shy, but she would also be very direct with certain things and almost, like, rude. So I'm just like, what is up with Yuri? Anyway. So, yeah, I wasn't really a fan of Yuri either. So Yuri and Yuri were out. Like, the only one that I thought was okay was Natsuki. I didn't really like her tsundere side, but I really did enjoy that she liked manga, and she seemed like the most real and just, like, the most normal out of all of them. Like, it didn't seem like she had any type of motive, she just wanted someone to enjoy her weird child mangas. That's why I thought Sayori was kind of... See, you can see me just trying to fix up that guy. Anyway, that's why I thought, like... Oh, sorry, Natsuki was fun. Yeah, I never really went for any of the other ones. Like... And then... So, because I went to the game blind, I didn't know anything about the game, besides that it was creepy. Like, the only reason I even played the game is because I saw the melody memes for it, and I was just like... Why are these memes so creepy for this game? And I didn't understand. I'm like, it's like... And I saw, like, there was they all had a similar theme where it was all glitchy, so I'm like, alright, so something's happening in this game where things go glitchy. So I already got interested from that, so I decided to try and play Doki Doki Literature Club. And when I was playing it, as I said, it was boring initially, so I was just like, whatever. Who cares about this game? And, like, I didn't really see the scary part. I knew that something scary was gonna happen, but I wasn't entirely sure what that was. So, and then, Sayori started getting all clingy, right? Like, you know, when she started to get, you know, strange, she started asking you weird questions, about, like, who you're interested in. Like, I was pretty committed to Natsuki for my first playthrough, so I was just like, I didn't really care what Sayori had to say. I was just like, oh, whatever, I'll just be with Natsuki. Because when Sayori was saying things like, it's like, oh, I'm depressed, like, you know, when she actually got into the whole I'm depressed thing, and it was, like, strange, and it was kind of, like, offbeat. Like, I already knew that something bad was gonna happen if I didn't follow through with Sayori's, storyline. So, but I was just like, oh, you know what, whatever. let's see what happens if I keep pursuing Natsuki and don't do anything about Sayori. Because I just thought, it'll be fine. I can just reload my save and go back and fix it and see what was wrong. So that's what I assumed I was gonna do. I was just gonna be, okay, so you can see that here I'm coloring it in. So I was able to fill in the entire thing, which means that there was no gaps left, which is good. But yeah, now I am going into coloring it. So this must be day 3. So this is like day 3. When I finally start coloring in the Monika. I found her eyes to be the most fun to color. Anyway, yeah, back to the thing. So, yeah, I just thought I would reload once, you know, Sayori goes off hinge. When she actually was like asking, it's like, oh, where you can say that you are my dear friend, or you can say I love you. I picked my dear friend because I already knew that whatever was gonna happen is gonna happen, and I'm just like, all right, whatever, I'll just reload. When I saw that she was like the poem was creepy. As soon as like when you get to the school and Monika talks to you and she shows you Sayori's poem, I was just like, what the fuck? The poem was like really weird, and I was just like, all right, that's not good. So I already knew that things were getting a little off and it was getting really weird. So I, we run over to Sayori's house, like that's what happens in the games, and you go in. This is all spoilers, by the way. Probably should have said that earlier. Well, whatever. So you run into the house, you go to Sayori, you look at her room, and then this is when the jump scare happens where you see her hanging. This was really creepy to me. It actually felt like really strange, like, because the music got really weird, and then you saw like it was glitching out, and then you just see Sayori hanging, and you're just like, holy shit. Like, I already expected something bad to happen, but I didn't know the extent of how bad things were gonna happen. So I see this, and I see that she's hanging, and I'm just like, oh shit. And then the MC starts saying things like, I can never go back, I can never change this, this is how it is, like, and they're obviously very upset about it, and then you go to the main screen, so I'm just like, psh, I can change this, so I literally was like, well, whatever, you're fine. So I go into my save file, and I'm like, I saved before I pick my decision with Sayori, just because I'm like, okay, this is obviously a major decision. So I go into my save file, and I click the save file to go back and, pick the other one where you say I love you to her instead. And the game says that the save file doesn't exist. And then it, like, launches me into a new game. This scared me. I was like, what the fuck? What do you mean it doesn't exist? What happened? What's happening with Sayori? Why is it not working? And then when I saw that, like, it was, normal beginning again, I was like, okay, I guess I have to start from the beginning. Like, I did think it was weird, but at the same time, I was like, oh yeah, I'll start from the beginning. And then it glitches out, and then you see that Sayori doesn't even exist, and I was like, holy crap. And that's when I got interested in the game, and this is why I like Doki Doki Literature. That was a really long explanation, but that's what I basically wanted to say about why I like the game. Oh my gosh, yeah, okay, so let's go back into my actual art that you're looking at here. So here you can see I am coloring it through the paint tool. So I'm using, not the paint tool, sorry, the paint bucket. I'm using the paint bucket to color, and you can see that there's no, like, white gaps between it. But there are some, which sucks. Like, you'll see, like, me trying to fix it afterwards. It's a very long process of trying to fix this and trying to get it made. It's oh my god, just coloring her was a torture. Anyway. So here I'm, like, slowly going through and coloring her. The problem is I have no idea how to shade. I am the worst shader. Like, if you've looked at my art or any of my previous art I've done, you will see that I do not shade. And there's a very good reason why I don't shade, just because I don't know how. I don't know where light comes from. I don't know what surface light comes from. I don't understand perspective, I guess. I have no idea. I just can't seem to figure it out. It never looks good to me, so I never, like, really bother with shading. Even though I know I should. Like, I will obviously add dimension to the eyes, but that's it. I usually do not shade my art, just because I know I don't know how to shade. I do want to learn how to shade, but I'm like, I don't know where you're supposed to get tips about shading. I tried watching YouTube videos on shading before, and they show you the usual structure of, like, a circle, and they're like, here, you shade, the light source comes from here, and blah blah blah, circles, ooh, and you're just like, oh hey, cool. Now, how do clothes work, and where do shadows come from? And yeah, like, I'm not good at understanding stuff like that. I feel like it's more like trial and error whenever you try and learn how to shade. Like, I did try shading Monika here, like in this picture. I'm not showing it in the Speedpaint. I actually took it out of the Speedpaint because, like, I didn't even end up using it in the end, so I was just like, it was a waste of time to show you guys. And also, I didn't like the way it looked. Like, I didn't like the end product. So you can see I'm a very good speed painter, one of the best, obviously. High caliber artist. You guys should definitely learn from me. So here I'm coloring in the gun. Alright, so I didn't carefully look at the gun, which was my fault. So I am coloring the gun, and obviously it looks fine from this angle to me. I'm just like, oh yeah, this is okay. Psh, nothing wrong with this gun. And even though I knew I was supposed to, like, go in and fix it, I think I forgot that that was actually an issue with the gun. So later on in the video, you're gonna see me go back and fix this gun. Like literally slowly and meticulously fix this gun. This is how how much trial and error goes into my art. I will actually go to the final version of this art and then see that I've made mistakes and go back and try and fix it. It's not the best method. It's actually not a recommended method. I actually think it's very sad that that has to happen in the first place. That's me and my process. A really bad one at that. So yeah, here just coloring in the gun that she's holding. I wanted to add in a little light spot, but I didn't like the way it looked, so I just stopped. It's weird because I shaded the gun, but I didn't shade her body. I know it's very like here you can see that I'm using that as a reference to figure out her colors, and I was actually going to use that to figure out where to shade as well. It just was not working. It just did not look good. Cause yeah, it's like I'm pretty sure I'm just doing it wrong as well with my art. So here you can see I'm actually transferring it to Photoshop afterwards. So this is so I can put the darker lines around it, so it looks more like a print. Yeah, like that. You can see it's thickened now, thicker lines. The only problem with this as well is when I close in, you're gonna see dots everywhere. So these, whenever you make these thicker lines in Photoshop, there are dots around the art. And the reason why those dots show up is because like you may have like drawn a small dot somewhere outside of the art, which it picks up and then it surrounds, which makes it thicker, right? So hold on, I'm gonna see if I can. I'm looking for that moment where those dots are, and then I'm like, you can see me literally going and erasing it. Yeah, so now I noticed mistakes in my Photoshop. So here, like in my Photoshop, there was a white line around her shadow. So what I did instead, you know, being the smart artist that I am, I decided to just color it in with gray. Like I literally used a gray color to color it in. Also, another thing I want to note is that I use S7. So S7 is like the most stable line you can get on Paint Tool SAI. This is the line that you use that's super slow when you're drawing it. Yeah, I use that because I don't know how to keep a straight line. Like, I'm actually so bad at keeping my hands steady. I know. Such a professional artist. Can't keep your hands steady at all. Yeah, I don't know how people do it. I don't have no idea how. Like, I've seen people draw like beautiful lines with like 7, and I use 7 to sketch, so I have no idea how people are actually using that to draw their final line art. Because I will use the most stable line that I can. So yeah, I use like a color instead of using multiply just to get that shaded effect near her eyes. And then I was like, oh, let me just fix like any little mistakes that I see in Paint Tool SAI. And then I realized that the mistakes that I have seen in here were a lot worse than that. So it wasn't very effective to try and fix it, in Photoshop. Yeah, to try and fix it in Photoshop. So I have to actually go into Paint Tool SAI to fix all of my mistakes. And it's not even like, you know, 1 or 2 mistakes. No, that's like a bunch of mistakes, girl. So many freaking mistakes. Here too, you can see like little white areas. So I missed these earlier. I didn't realize that there were little white areas everywhere. And the only reason I didn't realize that is because, I don't know, I wasn't thinking. I just hope that once I learned how to make it closer to the lines, like the paint bucket tool, that it would fill in all the dots for me. But yeah, that's not the case. That was just me expecting more than I probably should have. You know, I actually tried to videotape or like this to do the audio for this video before, and I just learned that I didn't record anything. This is me, such a good professional. Not recording one bit of it. Good job, me. But yeah, so here you can just see I'm like filling in all the lines, trying to make sure that the coloring is actually within the lines and not like everywhere like usual. You know, like a good artist, like a good speed painter. Like the ones I see on YouTube that are so good. I have no idea how they do this. I swear, it's... First of all, how are you recording like a 3-hour session without messing up? Because I messed up immediately. That was like an immediate response for me to mess up somewhere and not record everything. Just cause, yeah, like I have a better knowledge of how to record now. Like I'm more aware of when... So, okay, so these are the dots I was talking about earlier. Where if you don't draw it correctly, you're gonna see dots everywhere, and then you have to like erase that area. See, Fill in erasing the dots. And the thing is, you can't see these dots in Paint Tool SAI. You have to erase it in Photoshop. Or maybe you can. I have no idea. Someone has to educate me on this, because I am not knowledgeable enough for this. I have seen people make these lines themselves, like their thicker lines around their art themselves, by just like going over it with their really steady, super perfect hands. Of course, I don't know how to do that. Then again, I also draw on my bed. So, like, I'm literally laying down on my stomach to draw, which isn't the best position to draw. I know you're supposed to be on a desk, you're supposed to be sitting upright, and you're supposed to be comfortable, but yeah, I don't do any of that. I'm just under a blanket in my bed drawing. So all of the art you've ever seen from me and all the videos I've made, yeah, it's usually me in bed drawing. Even right now, I'm recording it being in bed. Like, I have my microphone here. I'm just recording it while I just lay here staring at the video and seeing how sad of a process. Now this is where I'm fixing the gun. Because I realized there's so many mistakes with the gun. I'm just like, alright, great, good job, me. As I said earlier. Professional, one of the best in the world. You will never see art at this quality. Ever. Yeah, so you can see me trying to fill in this art and erase the extra lines and make it look much better than the crap that it was looking like earlier. Yeah, it's kind of just sad. I need to be more aware of how I'm drawing. It's because I swear, like, I don't mean to make all these mistakes, it just happens. Here I'm putting that in, and then I'm using a blur tool to softly blur it, and you can see I'm clicking each tool that I want because I don't know how to set my keys. I do use Ctrl-Z to erase, so at least I'm doing one thing right. Like if I'm erasing like a whole area, I would use Ctrl-Z. So hey, there you go. One step correct out of a million steps that were completely incorrect. Very, very good art. I mean, obviously art is a process. I'm not saying, like, if you are at my level currently, or even if you don't feel like you are at my level either, don't worry about it. Like, even though I am making all of these jokes, I don't actually mean it in a very negative way. Like, I do take it as a joke, like, I get it, I'm still, you know, in the process of learning. I should probably watch more videos on how to do these things correctly, but I'm extremely lazy. I will skip through videos, like tutorials. I will look at tutorials, but I will skip through it because I'm just too lazy to watch it individually and to watch it slowly. So another difficulty I have is just watching things and not skipping forward. Yeah, just, you know, just paying attention for a period of time instead of being the lazy girl. Oh yeah, so. Okay, so you can see that I have fixed the gun. I think I'm satisfied with the gun. I redid it. I'm looking at it. Oh no, I'm not satisfied with the gun. I'm almost there. I mean, it is good that I take my, like, I do try and check to make sure that any mistakes that I do find, I fix it before I go into final, because I don't feel good about having, like, a ton of mistakes everywhere. I'd rather fix it and feel good about it than continuously see it. Like, have you ever had a mistake in your art, and even though you published it and you're like, you know what, whatever, screw it, that's all you can focus on? You can't see anything else besides that one mistake that you made? That's me with, like, most of my art. If I made a mistake and I knew I could have fixed it at that time, I will focus on it so hard that it's hard for me to even like that art after a while because I'm focusing on that one little mistake. That's why I fix my mistakes, because I can't handle that. It gets really, like, annoying. So here, I'm again erasing all the little dots all over her, because am I even surprised at the quality of what I do? Like, of course there's dots. How can I be surprised about that? Like, I do end up liking the final product, so, of course, like, even though I crap on my art a lot, I actually do like the final product and what I end up with. And, like, I like what I end up drawing. Because obviously I wouldn't have made it if I didn't like it. Or I would have just scrapped it if I hated it to that extent. Like, I always am okay with my final product, but the process of getting there is so embarrassing for me that I don't even want to show people, so, you know, you're getting a treat by seeing the weird stuff that I do just to get to from one end to the next. And yeah, maybe you guys do it too. Who knows? If you're watching this video as a tutorial on how to draw or how to draw like me, you're not getting much out of it. I'm going to tell you that much. First of all, I couldn't even show you the beginning part of the video because I lost that portion because I didn't record it. So that's one thing. But also, just the techniques that I use aren't the greatest. Out here, I'm trying to choose what font I want. So I actually go through and go online and Google like fonts with hearts in it. Because I did want a heart in the font. Like I realized that afterwards. So you can just see me like trying to decide. I think I skipped forward in the video too. Like there are parts of this video that I cut out just because I didn't want to bore you guys to death. Like for example with me searching for a proper font. Because that's incredibly boring. At the first I thought I wanted cursive. I'm like, oh, hey, it can look like her little scribbles, but I did not like the way it looks, so I got rid of that. Curve it. Make sure it matches the banner. Like, I like Photoshop, I just don't know how to use it either. Yeah, so I don't know how to use Paint Toolside, I don't know how to use Photoshop. I basically have a limited knowledge on both of these programs, and I'm trying to draw with them, so you can see where I'm going with this. I mean, at least I'm aware of my mistakes. Or aware that I don't know certain things. Because, you know, sometimes that's the most important thing. As long as you're aware, you can fix yourself. That's one of my biggest mottos in life. Like, if you're aware of your mistakes, you can fix it. If you're not aware of your mistakes, then obviously you will never fix them. You will just continue to make that mistake for the rest of your life. So, here too, I am aware that I'm making mistakes. I'm just extremely lazy and don't want to go through the process of finding solutions for these mistakes. Which isn't good. Don't be like me, folks. Be like a responsible artist who does better. So yeah, so you can see that this is... I finally found the font that I liked, I chose the size of it, and I'm like, okay, I'm happy with this. And this is the final product. I do really love the way it looks. I'm happy with how it turned out. I think it's cute. I like Monika. I think Monika looks cute here. I just think like the whole art piece is cute. You guys can get it on TeePublic or Redbubble. There's a link in the description. Also, go and check out my Amino, please. Go on DDLC Amino and come join me. You do some quizzes there as well. So, you know, when you have the time, check out both of those sources and you can take a gander at what's happening on there. Alright, so, well, that's it for now. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening to me ramble for so long. And I will see you guys for my next video. Bye for now. Hey guys, I want to do a speed paint for Monika because I've never really done a speed paint before and I thought it would be fun. And the other reason I've never done a speed paint is because I'm not really good at